Welcome back to Britology, the channel where we dive deep into life in the UK, exploring the culture, lifestyle, and everything you need to know about living here. In today's video, we're talking about something that's on the mind of many people, not just in Britain but around the world: house prices. With the market constantly changing, affordability has become a big challenge, especially in 2025. But the good news is, there are still places in the UK where buying a house won't completely break the bank. So today, let's take a closer look at the top 5 cheapest places to buy a house in the UK in 2025. When we talk about affordable property, we're usually looking at towns and cities where the average house price is significantly below the national average. According to the latest market data, the UK average house price is hovering around £285,000 in 2025, though of course this varies depending on the region. In some parts of London or the southeast, prices can soar well above £500,000 for an ordinary family home. But if you head north or even into some coastal areas, you'll find some incredible bargains. Let's start with the first location on the list, Burnley in Lancashire. Burnley has consistently appeared in affordability reports year after year, and 2025 is no exception. The average house price here is around $90,000, which is less than a third of the UK average. That makes it one of the cheapest property markets in the entire country. Now, Burnley might not have the glamour of London or Manchester, but it has a lot going for it. It's a town with rich industrial history, stunning countryside nearby thanks to the Pennines, and it's seeing slow but steady regeneration. For buyers, this means you can actually purchase a 2 or 3 bedroom terraced house here for less than the price of a single parking space in central London. That affordability makes Burnley a magnet for first-time buyers, landlords, and even retirees looking for a more relaxed lifestyle. Next up, we've got Sunderland in the northeast of England. Sunderland's average house price in 2025 is about £115,000, which is still very affordable compared to the national figure. Sunderland is a coastal city with easy access to the North Sea, and it has a proud shipbuilding heritage. While it has faced economic challenges in the past, the city has been undergoing transformation with investment in its university, cultural sites, and public transport. For someone looking for a low-cost entry onto the property ladder while still enjoying city living, Sunderland is a strong option. There's also the advantage of proximity to Newcastle, just a short trip away, giving you access to even more amenities and job opportunities. The third location on our list is Hull, or Kingston upon Hull as it's officially known. Hull has an average house price of around $125,000 in 2025, and it has gained more recognition in recent years since being named the UK City of Culture back in 2017. That accolade brought in investment, arts, and tourism, which continues to have an impact today. Hull is a port city with good transport links, affordable housing, and a growing cultural scene. It's also one of those cities that tends to surprise people. Many buyers who first overlook Hull end up being impressed by what it has to offer. For young professionals or families, the affordability here means you can get a spacious home with a garden for a fraction of what you'd pay elsewhere in the UK. Moving on, the fourth spot goes to Bradford in West Yorkshire. Bradford's average house price in 2025 is about £135,000, which is very reasonable given that it's a large city with strong connections to Leeds and Manchester. Bradford is a multicultural hub with a rich heritage, especially in textiles, and it has a young and growing population. The city has also been investing in its infrastructure and cultural projects, which are slowly changing its reputation. For property buyers, the appeal is not just in the low prices but also in the rental potential. Because Bradford has a large student and working population, buy-to-let investors find it particularly attractive. But even for first-time buyers, the chance to get a decent semi-detached house or flat at a fraction of the cost of somewhere like London is a huge advantage. Finally, rounding off our top 5 list is Blackpool. This seaside town in Lancashire is famous for its tourism, the Blackpool Tower, and of course the Pleasure Beach. But beyond its holiday reputation, Blackpool has one of the lowest average house prices in the country, standing at around $140,000 in 2025. Now, Blackpool does have areas of deprivation, but it also has a lot of character, investment in its seafront, and strong rental demand due to seasonal workers and tourism. For buyers who want to live near the sea but can't afford southern coastal towns like Brighton or Bournemouth. Blackpool is a budget-friendly alternative, and for retirees, it offers a chance to live out by the seaside without spending hundreds of thousands of pounds. What's interesting when we look at these 5 places, Burnley, Sunderland, Hull, Bradford, and Blackpool, is that they all share certain characteristics. They are northern towns and cities, many with industrial or coastal backgrounds, that have been through economic challenges but are now slowly finding new life. Their property prices reflect that history, but they also present opportunity. For anyone priced out of the south, these areas represent a chance to actually own a home, start a family, or build a property portfolio at a fraction of the cost. Of course, it's worth noting that affordability doesn't just depend on house prices. You also need to consider job opportunities, average wages, transport links, and quality of life. For example, while Burnley has very cheap housing, wages are also lower than the national average. On the other hand, cities like Bradford and Sunderland have improving connections to larger nearby cities, which makes commuting easier. So when you're looking at the cheapest places to buy, it's not only about what you can afford, but also about whether the area matches your lifestyle and long-term plans. For investors, these cheaper areas can be a goldmine. Lower purchase prices mean lower upfront costs, and rental yields can sometimes be higher than in more expensive regions. Burnley, for instance, has consistently reported rental yields of around 7 to 8%, which is very attractive compared to London, where yields are much lower. But again, investors need to do their homework, because not every cheap property is a good investment. Location within the town, future development plans, and local demand all matter a lot. Another factor in 2025 is the overall state of the UK housing market. With interest rates stabilizing but still higher than a few years ago, affordability is under pressure across the country. First-time buyers are struggling with deposits, and in many cases, turning to these cheaper northern markets is the only realistic way to get onto the ladder. And with remote working still playing a role in post-pandemic life, more people are open to the idea of living further from London or the southeast, as long as they have internet access and a reasonable quality of life. So whether you're a first-time buyer dreaming of your own home, an investor looking for high yields, or someone considering a relocation for a cheaper cost of living, these 5 places are definitely worth exploring in 2025. While they might not have the prestige of Oxford or the glamour of London, they offer something even more valuable: the chance to own property without drowning in debt. And that wraps up today's video on the top 5 cheapest places to buy a house in the UK in 2025. If you found this breakdown useful, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Britology for more deep dives into UK life, housing, and culture. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.